Good.
So, hello, my name is Rob Hirschfeld. I'm a distinguished engineer at Dell, and I'm the lead for our OpenStack projects, Crowbar projects, and I'm also on the OpenStack Foundation Board as a community elected member. So, I'm excited to talk to you about what's going on with Dell, what's going on with DevOps, and what's going on with cloud.
Hi, I'm Judd Maltin. I'm Systems Senior Engineer at Dell on the Crowbar project and a gadfly about town in the New York area.
So can you guys start with and tell me a bit about how you define DevOps so people get a better understanding of what it is?
DevOps is the practice of breaking down the traditional barrier between development and operations. Traditionally, code gets developed and what they call thrown over the wall to operations. DevOps is a practice of learning each other's trades, of operations learning the best development practices and development learning the best operations practices, so software and systems can come together in a way that we haven't yet seen, and provides a velocity that is really exciting.
And what I would add to that is that our customers are really using DevOps in some very innovative ways. They're really changing the way in which the value proposition of technology has changed. It's much more lean and agile. It allows our customers and our own deployments to respond quickly to change, to be on the cutting edge, and to be much higher quality. So in some ways, the DevOps toolkits and the DevOps approaches and processes provide as much of a revolution to the way software and technology are used as industrial engineering changed when just-in-time and Kanban technologies were introduced.
So a lot of times DevOps is associated with cloud computing. So is it critical for cloud? I mean, why is that relationship so strong?
So DevOps really came about, and I define cloud in a very simple way. Cloud is infrastructure with an API. And because DevOps is very focused on programmability and deployability and application programming interfaces or APIs, it really is a very natural thing, because when you have infrastructure with a strong API, you can create automation against that. And that really is the heart of what DevOps is able to do. Deploy using code and APIs.
The cloud also enables the smallest shops to leverage the best practices. If you don't have to, if your systems administrators are not worried about replacing hard drives, but can think more coherently and in a bigger picture about their systems and how they work together, you can get far greater scalability at much lower costs and deploy your software much faster on a cloud-based platform.
So can you provide some examples of how Dell is doing DevOps? I know we have something called Crowbar, which we founded, and I think it'd be great to talk about and help kind of gather our minds where Dell and DevOps come together.
I'd be happy to do that. Crowbar is an open source project that Dell is the lead on, and it really combines some really significant open source and DevOps technologies, and it's seen some community adoption both on OpenStack deployments, Hadoop deployments, and actually beyond those into more generic deployments. I'll let you describe a little bit about some of the heartbeat and how it operates, and then.
Well, as a consultant for the past several years, and coming from some of the strictest operational environments, I was third level support at the New York Stock Exchange for identity management services. I saw both the best old school ways of doing operations and most excited about the new school ways of doing operations. And over the past several years, there's been very active discussions on the DevOps tool chain. What tools are we using in order to bridge the gap between development and operations? And for a long time, I struggled to find a tool that was open source and collaborative while being a whole solution that I could deploy really whatever I wanted with, and would give me that overarching structure, but still give me access to all the switches and dials. And when I saw what Rob had put together for the 1.0, I said, that's a team that I want to be part of.
And what we've done is we've taken the state-of-the-art Chef cookbooks. At the time when we started, there was nothing in open source for OpenStack or for Hadoop around actually doing. And Chef uses the concept of cookbooks, which are really deployment scripts. And we took those, we made them available openly, we shared them with the community, and we leveraged Chef in a very dynamic way. And we extended Chef not just from the cloud APIs, but we incorporated hardware automated bring up, RAID and BIOS configuration, networking configuration. So what we really did was we took state-of-the-art DevOps tooling in the form of Chef, and then we extended that to be able to reach all the way down into the hardware stack. And so that allowed us to create an OpenStack deployment that you could bring up in about 4 hours from the very bare unformatted metal all the way through to a working system. And that was really one of the value propositions that we saw, is the ability for people to repeat that experience over and over, not following a book, not hoping that their deployment didn't run into snags, but being able to say, if you start from here, you can automatically get to this operational endpoint. And that's what DevOps let us do.
And Crowbar offers me, as an administrator, as a systems architect, all the tools that I was already familiar with, but wrapped up in a nice bundle. And I saw that with it I could do whatever I wanted, but Dell had made it so easy to do the hard stuff.
And so one last question is about, I mean, obviously Dell is involved in DevOps, and why do you think it's such a critical thing for Dell to take a leadership role in DevOps? And where do you see it heading for Dell with DevOps?
This really comes down to helping our customers get value. And that's really, DevOps is about acceleration. It's about being more successful and higher quality. And so DevOps for us is all about time to value for our customers, right? And we see them asking for that. We see that we can do small things, in some cases big things, that help bring them faster and help them keep up with changing technologies. And so that's a big part of what we're doing.
I'm very happy to be part of Dell. I see it as at a wonderful inflection point. Dell's going through a dramatic transformation. The position of hardware and the data center is completely changing. Mobile has thrown a huge wrench into everything, and we need to be able to deploy faster and more reliably and more flexibly than ever before. And if Dell isn't stepping up to the plate to do that on their hardware, then we are missing a huge opportunity. I've worked with dozens of old guard operational systems that were completely arcane technology that was very difficult to work with. DevOps in Dell is critical, and it actually parallels Dell's own manufacturing system. Dell's unbeatable manufacturing supply chain is just one living example of DevOps.
Great. Well, thank you two gentlemen for joining us today. Oh, Rod, maybe you have something else?
I have another point. So one of the things that's important here about DevOps, and it's very dynamic and builds on the story of how our customers deploy and how we can have a relationship with our customers, is DevOps actually gives us a language and a way to describe operations and share operations. So it's not just a matter of lore in the back room and this person does it this way and this person does it that way. What we're doing with DevOps is we actually can have a conversation about the best practices, and it's not just talking. We can show, we can document, we can write it down in code. And so when we talk about DevOps, when we talk about open source DevOps, which is a lot of what Crowbar is about, it's not just about here's some code and you can go use it. It's actually about a conversation, right? It's about collaborating with our customers. It's about working out best practices and sharing those best practices, because that is really where our customers get benefit, right? They can, we can deliver hardware to their doorstep. We can help get the best hardware bits going. We could sell them applications. If we can't carry it all the way through, then we really haven't helped our customers all the way. And DevOps gives us that missing piece, right? It lets us take our infrastructure and really make it valuable and maintain that conversation, that ongoing operational dialogue with our customers. So that's been a big plus for us.
No vendor has ever given me support like Dell has given me support. And if I can also get that support in my operational processes and connect that with my development processes, then any corporation who's looking to increase velocity for bringing new apps to market, standing up a new data center, whatever it happens to be, that's a conversation you have with Dell just as much as you have the features on this piece of gear don't work for us. We want a C8000.
Great. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it taking the time today.